Today we're making rooster beak.
Do you mean pico de gallo?
Hey guys, welcome to At the Table. I have a special friend here today, Michelle Estrada, and she is the FCS agent in Wayne County. She is also one of my good special friends, and I always say I want to be Michelle when I grow up because
my goodness.
She's so amazing. She's just so cool. So I just want to be her. But she is joining us today. We're going to start a series on food traditions. As we're getting into the holidays, there's lots of really great traditions out there. And I love hearing about other traditions outside of maybe what we do right here in the country with us. So I love to hear about different ethnicities and traditions. So Michelle is here. She's going to make some authentic Mexican food, and she's going to tell us all about her traditions today. So thank you so much for being here, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I am so excited to be here. I think we need a long session to talk about this, but yeah. I was born in California, but my dad is from Mexico and my mom is from Uruguay. So we moved to Mexico when I was 7 months old. So I feel like I have two countries now because I have been living in here for almost 18 years. So I lived there for 25 years. Wow. So now it's a mix of traditions at my house. So we do a little bit of American traditions and we do a lot of Mexican traditions. So today we're going to be making guacamole. And that's something that I would say is something that we eat every day, even when we are celebrating something. So with some of the celebrations that we have is the posadas, and they're coming, and they actually start on my birthday. My birthday is December 16. So we make posadas and we get together with the whole family, and then we go to the neighborhood and we go from home to home. And we're from the December 16th to December 24th is when we celebrate. So every night we celebrate.
Fun.
And it's when we have the piñatas.
So what is posadas?
Posadas is, this is a very tradition because it's when we're trying to, we kind of celebrate the process from Mary and Joseph. Oh, okay. When they went from, trying to find a place to where Jesus will be born. Yeah. So that's basically what we do. But of course, Mexicans, we love to party. So we add the food and we add the piñatas and all that.
Fun. I think we need to join you.
I know.
Oh, that would be exciting. So yeah, you're making guacamole. Mm-hmm. And then we also have a pico de gallo.
Pico de gallo.
So we'll start with the guacamole first. Mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and let you get started on that. And I'll scoot on over. You tell me what to do, okay?
Okay, that sounds really good. So first, we're going to be working with our avocados. And this is one of the hardest things with Sydney, like how to choose the right avocado, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that you need to be sure, normally you're going to have avocados from California or from Mexico. And actually, they come from Michoacan. And if you ever have a chance to watch a video from Michoacan, Mexico, where they grow avocados, you should watch those videos. But they need to be this dark, okay? And in the middle, you should have a yellow where the stem comes. It should be yellow. This is I'm trying to find another fruit or vegetable that is similar to these, but this is basically when you touch peaches. So, if they're too hard, they're not ready. But if they're too soft, no. So it's just enough that you can push a little bit and they're soft. So some of these, this one looks a little bit green. So this one is not ready yet. So you really want to have a dark avocado. Okay, so we're going to need for this recipe, I think 3 I say 3 avocados, but you know, when you make your avocados or your guacamole, guess what? You can put more because everybody's going to eat the guacamole.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what we're going to do, please don't make this mistake. We're talking out here about food safety, but also safety in the kitchen. Many people cut the avocados in their hand. Please do not do that. We can just put it in the cutting board and then just go around, okay? We don't want no one to get hurt. So when your avocado is ripe, guess what? It's going to come out this easy. If it's not ripe enough, it's going to be hard. So it's not going to come out this ripe. So we're going to just cut 3 avocados. And Sydney, do you mind helping me to get them out? I can help.
Sure
I can show you with the first one. That's another thing. If I can peel the avocado this quick, that means that this is a good avocado. And you know what? I think this avocado knew that it will be on TV because it's like ready.
Mine is too. This one's perfect.
Yeah, so this is good. One way that you can get the seed or the pit out is just by putting your knife this way. I'm telling you, today I'm the lucky person. It is working just so good. So, I talk too fast. So be careful with this, okay? I'm gonna cut the other avocado. And we're gonna put our 3 avocados in the bowl. And that way we can make our avocado or guacamole. I'm having a hard time because I'm gonna teach you how to say avocado in Spanish. Avocado is aguacate in Spanish. Aguacate. Like agua. Cate.
Aguacate.
Yes, you got it, Sydney. Good. So we're getting dirty in here, Sydney. Okay, so I think we're gonna put everything in the bowl and then we'll be back.
Sounds good.
Every year, 7 million 911 calls are made in North Carolina.
911, what's your emergency?
Will you answer the call? Every second counts. You can be that lifeline. People in crisis look to us for assistance. We provide guidance and support until physical help can arrive at the scene. Join us and make a difference in our community. Be the calm in the chaos. Be the voice in the dark. It's the hardest career you'll ever love. Will you answer the call? Discover more at it.nc.gov/911careers.
All right, welcome back. We have our aguacate
That's right.
all done. So they're in our bowl. I'm gonna start mashing these up. We'll go back to you, Michelle, if you wanna start on our next thing.
That's right. And our next ingredient that we're gonna prepare or that we're gonna cut is our tomatoes. Now, you can use any tomato. You can use your favorite tomato. But a real guacamole, guess what? We use Roma tomato. It's also called Italian tomato or plum tomato. So we're gonna cut our tomato. And this is the way I do it. So we're gonna just get rid of this part of the stem. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut them in half. And you can put more than one. I just choose one to show you today. So now I'm gonna get a spoon. And this is good when people cannot eat seeds, okay? So I'm gonna get rid of all those seeds. So maybe we may need 2 tomatoes. Okay, so that way I can get rid of all the seeds. And also it's gonna get rid of kind of like a lot of the juice, the extra juice, so our guacamole is not too wet. And we're gonna do the next one now. Okay. And then we're just gonna chop. When we are doing tomatoes for pico de gallo or for the guacamole, we really want to cut these tomatoes like very small, okay? So watch out with your fingers. Oh, and one thing that I didn't tell you, be sure that you're cutting from the inside and not from the skin, because sometimes when you cut from the skin and if you don't have a sharp knife, it can be harder, okay? Oh my goodness, Sydney is working really fast. So I'm gonna just cut my tomatoes and we can add that here. So, Sydney, I think, oh my goodness, I missed this one. Okay, so we're gonna see if it's enough. One thing about the secret of the avocado is to have all our a very nice, colorful dish, right? Because it is too much green in here. Can I give you this?
Yes, you can.
Sydney? Let me.
I know there was such good stuff on there. I didn't
Yes,
wanna
we
leave
need
it.
to clean this because this is, avocados are not that cheap. So we
Yes.
need to use everything. Okay, here is. And now we are gonna get all our tomatoes and we're gonna put them in here. So, and again, we just want to have a good balance in the colors. And I think this is enough tomatoes. What do you think, Sydney?
Oh yeah, I think that
Yeah,
looks pretty.
I think this is good. So now we're gonna put a little bit of lime juice. And let me tell you something. Calling a lime juice to the green lemon, it is very hard. Because for us, your lime is our lemon.
Oh,
Yeah, so we call it limon.
and what do you call a lemon?
A lemon, we don't have yellow lemons.
Oh, okay.
So at least not on the states that I lived. So I'm having a hard time. So our limes are almost the size of an orange.
Oh,
And we
wow.
also have sour oranges that we use a lot. Like in some states, they will use a sour orange for the guacamole, but not everybody does. So a little bit of differences in the
Yeah.
cuisine. Okay, now my favorite. You can use white onion and that's okay. And that's what we're using for the pico de gallo. But I just wanted to have something a little bit different. So we're going to add the red onion. Do you call it the red or purple?
I call it red onion.
Oh, okay. I was asking someone about that yesterday and she said purple and I had a hard time because we call it red onion. If you think that the red onion is too, sometimes it can be a little bit strong, wash your red onion after you chopped and just, let it kind of rinse all that strong flavor. Oh my goodness, this
And the
is
oils,
looking so
too.
good.
It looks delicious.
Yes.
Now I have a question about the tomatoes. So you seeded the tomatoes. Is that like traditional guacamole? You seed it 1st?
Yes, and you can do it both ways, but I think for a lot of people would be better to get rid of the seeds and it looks better on your guacamole. So now what we're doing, we're adding cilantro in here. So be sure that when you're washing, cilantro is something that you really need to wash very good. Let me move this away from, I'm making a mess in your kitchen.
I'm your sous chef today.
Thank you so much. I really need your help. So, I can't wait to try this. I'm sorry. Every time that I make it, it's like, oh. So now you don't need a lot of salt. So for guacamole, you really need to start tasting it to see if you have a balance between your the lime juice and the salt, okay? So I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt in here. And again, it's depending on your on the flavor that is coming from your avocados. So, Sydney, do you want to try it?
Yes. Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Looks delicious.
I know, and we got beautiful. What do you think? I'm gonna have to try.
I think it's perfect.
You think that we need any more salt or?
No, there's so much flavor. I can taste the lime. I can taste a little salt. I can taste the onions.
Delicious. So, guess what? We're gonna make the pico de gallo.
We're gonna take a quick break and we'll do that next.
Experiencing slow internet? If you have a fast internet package, the problem is most likely your wireless router. With more devices using Wi-Fi, your wireless router may not be able to deliver the speed and coverage you need. We now have the leading solution to enhance your internet experience. Using small devices in a mesh network, these Wi-Fi appliances cover just about any size home so that all your devices can operate to their fullest potential. Whole home Wi-Fi from Star Communications. Get the most out of your internet connection.
So our guacamole is done. It's delicious, isn't it, Michelle? So good. So what we're gonna do next is pico de gallo. And I will just be starting to put our ingredients into our bowl here. Very simple, and Michelle has already prepped a lot of this stuff to help save a little bit of time. But she is gonna demonstrate how to do the jalapeno. So I'll let her go ahead and get started on the jalapeno, and then we'll kind of slowly start mixing all this together.
And Sydney, one thing that I want to add, you don't have to put jalapeno. So if you don't want to add any pepper, or if you prefer serrano, chile serrano instead of jalapeno, that will be better, or whatever you want.
Okay.
I like jalapenos, but but it's up to you, okay? Because pico de gallo is really good just with the ingredients that you have there. Okay, so we're gonna starting by cutting the stem in here, okay? And then, oh, one thing that I forgot. You may be asking yourself, why is she wearing gloves? Just in case this jalapeno is really hot, you don't want to touch your eyes after even when you wash your hands, it can be really hard. Or if you have sensitive skin, that can be really hard. So then I'm just gonna cut this in half. In the same way that we remove the seeds from our tomato, we're gonna do it that way. And I think Sydney is having a spoon ready for us. And one thing that I wanna tell you, if you want a hot jalapeno, you want to just leave the, what would you call them, veins, membrane? Or
the ribs or the membrane, yeah.
Yes, so you want to keep them there because that's where the heat is. And some of the seeds will do that too, but we're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna come in here. Well, I should have done it in here in camera. So, but I basically just scrape all these things. I'm gonna do it one more time. Be careful with your eyes because some jalapenos can be very juicy and these can be jumping on your, then I'm gonna do the other one. And the same thing, if you want more, you want your pico de gallo to be hot, add more jalapeno if you want. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, let me move all these in here, and we're just gonna chop our jalapeno. One thing that we really want with the pico de gallo, we want to chop our onions and our tomatoes very, very small. So, because the pico de gallo can be part of we can use it as a salsa, or we can use it as an appetizer, but we want very small pieces, okay?
And I love to do that with a lot of my cooking in general. You guys hear me all the time about chopping into small bites because we want a little bit of that flavor in every single bite. And so with the pico de gallo, that's the same, where we just want a little bit of the flavor in every single bite. So you want to have it nice and chopped up very small.
That's right. And I'm almost done with my jalapeno. If you want to start mixing all your ingredients.
Perfect. So what we have here is very simple. We've got our tomatoes, and Michelle has already chopped some of this stuff up. Now, Michelle, you had mentioned with the tomatoes, you could drain these so that it wouldn't be quite as juicy, right?
So when you remove the seeds of your tomatoes in advance, like I did that yesterday, those tomatoes, they don't have any juice. So what's the purpose of doing a pico de gallo that doesn't have a lot of juice? If you're using homemade tortillas or corn tortillas, what is going to happen is going to get all wet, and you don't want that. So that's why we drain the tomatoes. And what we do, you can put a little bit of salt on your tomatoes and just leave it. And the salt will help to drain it.
Yeah, because the salt will start to bring out that liquid and help to kind of extract any of that liquid out of it. So then you can add the extra, or you can drain it even further. Which I never knew this until Michelle taught me today. So we make pico, I just call it pico. Is that okay? Is that
okay,
acceptable?
I think. Do you know what gallo means? Gallo means in English?
What does it mean?
Rooster. So I don't really know what they call pico de gallo.
My guess is that it's because it's red, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're going to have to do some research after this one,
I
Michelle.
think so.
So I just went ahead and added our onion. We have about half of a white onion here, and it smells really good. It smells nice and fragrant, so I feel like it's going to be really good flavors going on.
And I don't know if this is on purpose, but the Mexican flag is green, white, and red. So we use a lot of those colors.
That is perfect. It kind of all flows together. So what we have next is cilantro. And again, Michelle had chopped this ahead of time, and it's chopped into these really fine little pieces so that it will have a lot of that good cilantro flavor in our pico de gallo. And we like to have, I feel like our Mexican dishes very flavorful. Do you feel like you have lots of those good
Yes,
herbs and
even though
things?
I think we use a lot of salt. I think our herbs and spices is what really makes the profile, the flavor, that Mexican flavor.
Yes, good. Okay. So we're going to just sprinkle this in here and get that we want all the cilantro. So I'm going to use my hand to get a little bit of that extra and then just mix that really well. And we're going to go ahead and we'll take a quick break. I'll finish mixing this and then we'll finish up our pico in just a minute.
That's good.
After completing my contract, I still have to buy out of it? Come on. Here's your sign.
Switch to the sign that's keeping home secure and customers happy all over the area. Security from Star Communications. We pride ourselves on fair pricing and quick, friendly service every time.
Somebody try to break into this place?
Security from Star Communications.
Well, I'm done with the jalapenos and I cannot wait for you, Sydney. So
Yay,
let's start adding the jalapenos. Do you want me to add the whole thing?
Go ahead, add it all together.
Okay.
And then
we're going to be brave today.
We'll mix it, yeah.
Okay.
It's just one jalapeno. Maybe they won't be too spicy.
I hope not.
We will see. All right, so I'm just going to mix this all together. And then our last couple things that we're adding is limon.
Limon, that's right.
Or lime
Or
juice.
lime.
And how much lime juice? That was about a tablespoon, so not too much.
Actually, yeah, we use the whole lime.
Oh, okay. So all of that lime juice going in here. Mix that up to help make sure it's nice and blended with all of our pico. And then a little bit of salt. Now, I don't want to use this whole thing. Just sprinkle just a little.
Just sprinkle.
Do just a little more. We like salt.
And I share from my guacamole. So I hope you share from your pico de gallo.
Yes, we will taste.
I'm going to remove my gloves. I don't think I need them anymore.
Not to eat, that's for sure.
Not to eat.
And we did a little research. Our research team back there did some research for us while we went on our break and found out that the reason why they call it gallo, meaning rooster, is because they would eat it with their fingers and it was kind of like a beak, a rooster beak. But Michelle says she's never done that before.
I had never heard that before. I always use my chip.
Yes.
Mi tostada.
Okay, well, let's taste this. I'll come to you.
Oh my goodness.
Looks so good.
Yes, and I think I'm going to use my tostada. So I hope I'm not blocking
I want to taste it first.
Without the tostada?
Yes. Get all the flavors going on.
That's right. I'm going to do it like this.
Her pico de gallo is way better than any that I have ever made, Michelle. So good. Now we can use this. So we've got our guacamole and we also have our pico de gallo here.
You see, this is what you're eating.
And you can use these in a variety of ways of how we can eat them just like we are right now, right?
That's right. You can use them as an appetizers, as snacks. But I really like pico de gallo when I'm eating my tacos. And also, there's one recipe that I would love to share with you that is called tostadas. Not these tostadas cut it, but like a meal. So I would love to share that with you, and we can put guacamole or pico de gallo on top of the tostadas.
Perfect. That will be so yummy. We will have to do a show on that as well. So what else? You said appetizers. We do it on our tacos or tostadas.
Tostadas. We have quesadillas too. And if you want to add, it always add a lot of flavor, especially if the meat that you're using in your quesadillas, because sometimes, it's just queso or cheese in quesadillas. But if you're adding any meat, these really taste good. And even if you're not eating Mexican, if you're just eating a steak, this is perfect on top of a steak.
Yum.
And the guacamole always goes well.
I mean, avocados, guacamole, any of that will just pair with all the things. Now, I would also think about like chicken. If you were baking chicken, you could put the pico de gallo on top of that, and that would be really tasty. I just feel like these flavors just go so well with pretty much everything.
Let me tell you, this is something that my husband makes for me that I love it. So I don't know if you have heard about ceviche.
Yes.
Have you ever? Okay. So with ceviche, you don't really cook the fish, so it's not very safe to eat it. So the way we do it in a safe way, we use tuna. Okay, so we use the same recipe that we have in here, and we'll just add the tuna and we mix it, and it's delicious. And you just eat it with your chip.
Now, I think for that, it would be important to make sure you're using a sushi grade tuna, right? So that you can eat it raw.
Well, actually, you can just use it from the tuna can. That's how we eat it.
Okay, gotcha.
Because, like I said, the real recipe is with raw fish that you supposed to cook with lemon or lime,
right?
But that's not safe. So the way we do it, we just use a canned tuna.
Okay, I will have to try that. That sounds absolutely delicious.
It tastes delicious, and it's a very healthy dish because you're getting your veggies and you're also getting your protein.
And that's something that I wanted to point out too. With both of these dishes, we're getting lots of really good vegetables in here. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of anything bad in it. I mean, really.
One thing that you need to be very careful is with the avocado. If you're trying to lose weight, just remember, avocado has healthy fats, but avocado has a lot of calories. So if you are counting your calories, just be careful, because you saw like how small are the avocados. And in this avocado, it's around 250 calories.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. Now, tomatoes are only like, I think, between 10 to 15 calories. So that's not bad.
Very light. This one's a little bit more hearty. And this is so easy to eat the whole thing. So
it is.
You do have to be careful of what you're doing.
And you don't want to eat it all the time.
Yes. So I can't wait to have these, maybe put these on top of our tostadas. And thank you so much for joining us today, Michelle. It's been so much fun learning from you.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time.